Hey second graders, this is Mrs. Daniel from Citizenship Academy, and today we're going to be looking at arrays, and we're going to be decomposing them and looking at them by looking at the columns and the rows and kind of pulling those apart and also looking at how that is repeated addition. So let's get started. Let's see here. Looking at this first array, I want to see how many rows do you see? How many rows do you see? Here's one row. Here's a row. Here's another row. Here we have a row. And there's another row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 3. There's 3 in each row. 3 in each row. So we could say 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 to see how many counters we have. Now I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, but if you want to follow along and have your own counters, or you could draw on a piece of paper or a whiteboard, then you're more than welcome to do that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 3. So our repeated addition sign could look like this. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3. And then we can do our doubles. 3 plus 3 is 6. Oops. Let's change our color here for a second. So we have 3 plus 3 is going to give us 6. And we have another 3 plus 3 give us 6. 6 plus 6 equals 12. And then 3 more is going to give us 15. Okay. All right, let's look at another one. So this is the same array that we just looked at, but this time I want to look at the columns. How many columns do you see? Remember, columns go up and down. How many columns do you see? I see 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns. Now these columns are really like a group, right? There's the same, and they're equal groups. There's the same number in each column or in each group. So these are equal groups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could say 5 plus another group of 5, 5 plus one more group of 5. And let's see if we get the same answer, okay? So I have another doubles fact that we can use. 5 plus 5 equals 10. And then 10 plus 5 equals 15. So it doesn't matter if you count by columns or if you count by rows across, you will still get the same answer, 15. So this one, we had 3 groups of 5. There was 5 in each group. Let's look at our next one. Look at this. All right, let's start by looking at rows. Let's start by looking at our rows. How many is in one row? How many do you see there in one row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. And how many are in the next row? 5. And what about the next row? We have 5. In the last row, also we have 5. How many rows do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 rows of 5. What would our repeated addition sentence look like? It would be 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals. Now, again, you could do your doubles facts and do 5 plus 5 equals 10, right? And then this 5 plus 5 equals 10. 10 plus 10 equals 20. Or you could say 5, 10, 15, 20. You could count by 5s, okay? Any way you count, you'd still get the same answer. So this one, we're showing we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. We have row of 5, row of 5, row of 5, row of 5. Now, what if, instead of looking at the rows, we count how many columns? Remember, columns go up and down. Let's see how many columns are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 columns, or 5 equal groups. How many are in one group? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And we can use our doubles facts again by saying 4 plus 4 would give us 8. And this 4 plus 4 would give us 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. And 4 more gives us 20. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 gives us 20. All right, let's look at another picture. Look at these bears. How many rows are there? How many rows are in this array? Let's count them. We have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, 5 rows. There are 5 rows of 1, 2, 3. 5 rows of 3. There's 3 in this row, 3 in this row, 3, 3, and 3. Notice that all of these groups or rows have the same number in each row. They are all equal groups. Now, what if I said that I wanted you to add 1 more row? If I said I wanted you to add 1 more row of bears, draw circles to be my bears. 1, 2, 3. I would add 3 more. And now I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of bears. Right? I would have 6 rows of bears. I would have 1 more row of bears. Let's look at the same picture, but this time I want you to think about the columns. How many columns are in this? We have 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns of 5 bears. There are 5 plus 5 plus 5. What if I told you to add another column of bears? You would add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You would add 5 more. Since there's 5 in each column, you would need to add 5 if you were going to add another column. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how many columns do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 columns now, which means we would say plus 5, plus another group of 5. And in order to add those, we could count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20. Or, of course, you could do your double stacks as well to get 20, okay? So our main purpose of our lesson today was to kind of look at columns and rows to see the difference between the two, and to think about how we use repeated addition, which means addition of the same number over and over. I'm going to go through today's assignment with you because I want to make sure you guys understand what it's asking you. So here's a picture of the bears. I used the same picture today, and it asks you, how many rows are there? So you're going to look and see how many rows do you see? And you're going to count how many rows. Then it says, how many columns are there? So then you're going to look and you're going to see 1, 2, 3. There are 3 columns. How many bears are there total? So that means you're going to see how many bears are there. You're going to count them all up, okay? Then the next one shows these pictures here,